Wrestling, and welcome to another edition of Thursday Night Fights! We are less than 48 hours away from Pittsburgh versus Canada right here at the warehouse in Allentown. And of course, as we loom near, tonight on TNF is the disco before the breakdown. Now with that in mind, who's ready for some wrestling? Your opening contest is a singles match scheduled for one fall.
Good evening and welcome to the second largest event tonight in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 880 Wrestling presents Thursday Night Fights. I am the professional Paul Michaels, joined by Tyler Ray Kendrick.
That's right, baby.
Introducing first, being accompanied to the ring by Boris Crobos, fighting out of Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. This is Robbie Hollywood.
And TRK, it's been quite some time since we've seen you at an 880 wrestling event. I've never had the chance to work with you in any capacity. In some ways, from a certain point of view, you could thank Robbie Hollywood for your presence here tonight. It was back on April 2nd when Robbie Hollywood defeated Alao Dreams. And some of the behaviors on commentary from our normal team of Toddy Tondera and Austin Carnes led to them being banned from the show this week.
It's a little bittersweet to be here. No Toddy, but I'm here and I'm ready to have a ball.
He is here in the ring, accompanied by Alao Dreams and Billy the Alien. He is one half of the 880 Wrestling Tag Team Champions. This is the Psychedelic Prince, Sammy Suntheimer.
As mentioned earlier, it was Sammy Suntheimer's tag team partner, Alao Dreams, who fell to Robbie Hollywood in a somewhat controversial fashion back at the beginning of the month. And some would argue it was the first shot fired in this Pittsburgh versus Canada war showcase, whatever you want to call it. And Robbie Hollywood getting things started here, getting a little bit of a false start off the blocks and taking it to Sammy Suntheimer.
Everything with Robbie Hollywood is a little controversial. Coming from his history against Alao Dreams, getting things started off. Got to get a jump start on one of my favorites, Sammy Suntheimer. Big chop.
Sammy looking to avenge that loss of his partner from earlier in the month. Try to even the series of Robbie Hollywood versus Psychedelic Dreams. Of course, both of these competitors will be part of the Pittsburgh versus Canada event that is less than 48 hours away. That'll be Saturday, April 25th here at the warehouse. And a pin attempt and only a 2 count for Hollywood.
It's a Pittsburgh versus Canada party. The city of Pittsburgh versus the whole nation of Canada.
The crossbody there by Suntheimer. Rather than going for the cover, he opted to for some blows to the head there of Hollywood. Sammy did a good job of kind of recollecting himself after that early match assault from behind that Hollywood brought to him now in the high rent district.
Sometimes it's not about how you start, it's how you finish.
Able to adjust in midair, but eats that drop kick from Hollywood. Taking momentum back. Fisherman suplex here. And that will be a 2 count for Robbie Hollywood. Another near fall.
Another near fall. Got to get things off to a good hot start. Sometimes going to a big event like this weekend, momentum is everything.
Certainly, how do you balance keeping that momentum versus also preserving enough of yourself for those big matches on Saturday?
Absolutely. You don't want to empty the tank too early.
Sammy now in the corner here. Big splash by Hollywood. And staying on him here. Basement drop kick in the corner. Another cover attempt by Robbie. 2 and no. Sammy gets the shoulder up.
That drop kick attempt got all of Sammy Suntheimer's face.
Sammy Suntheimer, of course, has spent quite a bit of time He's been very outspoken against many of the folks at Hybrid Championship Wrestling online. Now Sammy fighting his way back into this one. I want to give a shout out to Abby, who was on camera for the first time tonight here, helping us out with the production. We have another near fall for Robbie Hollywood.
Big night here at the warehouse. First timers, Sammy Suntheimer's returns. Big night here.
Abby's debuting. TRK is back. We have people debuting from Hybrid Championship Wrestling tonight. Backslide pin here for Sammy Suntheimer. Only a 2 count. Big knee there to the ankle. It's Hollywood thinking Boston Crab submission here. He is. Referee George Ross in position.
Boston Crab, by the way of Canada. That's an Ontario Crab.
Sammy able to fight him off there.
Big fighter, Sammy Suntheimer. Been doing it a while. One of my favorites ever since day one.
And TRK, since the last time you were here, Sammy Suntheimer and Alao Dreams have won the 880 Tag Team Championships not once but twice. And they're the current champs as well, of course.
It's good to see. Good to see. Not much has changed.
German suplex by Suntheimer. And he's very much back in this one. Into the cover. 2 and shoulder up. Now here we go. Boris Crobos getting himself involved up on the apron. Alao Dreams, though, will act as the equalizer and pull him down. So now Alao and Boris mixing up on the outside.
Yeah, baby, getting after it. Ooh. Oh, my gosh.
And Boris getting the better of that one briefly here. Into the apron now. Sammy getting involved here with Boris.
Oh, my gosh. Just spilling outside the ring.
And wait a second, Robbie Hollywood.
Oh!
Suicide dive through the ropes, taking out both members of the 880 Tag Team Champions.
Oh, my gosh.
Now throwing Alao Dreams all the way to the backstage area.
Making an exit. And this ground is pretty unforgiving. It's brick. It's brick and cement.
It's hard enough sometimes just to stand on it for 2 hours. I wouldn't want to take any offense onto it. Look out, Sammy into the roll-up attempt here.
Great point, Paul. Ooh.
Big super kick by Suntheimer. And now William Porter of Hybrid Championship Wrestling up on the apron, and Sammy taking a swing at Will Porter. Wait a second, Hollywood into the roll-up. That's it.
He had his trumps.
Here is your winner, Robbie Hollywood.
With the roll-up, and he had Sammy Suntheimer's trunks.
So now in somewhat controversial fashion, Robbie Hollywood now has singles victories over both members of Psychedelic Dreams. And how does that spell for them going into a big showdown at Pittsburgh versus Canada this Saturday?
You see on the replay here, Sammy Suntheimer taking a big loss here.
Certainly the involvement of both Boris Crobos and William Porter of Hybrid Championship Wrestling had to be a factor in that decision. Will Psychedelic Dreams be able to regroup in time for Pittsburgh versus Canada this Saturday?
You know, sometimes when you're a champion, you got to pull out all the stops, and I think that we just saw that on display.
Well, folks, you can expect more interpromotional action like that to come this Saturday for Pittsburgh versus Canada. Tickets are on sale right now.
Whoa!
Wait a second.
Hit our music.
Not these guys, indeed.
TRK, it is some guy named John Clayton King and the intern Mitch, leaders by example. We haven't seen Clayton King since all the way back at Paint It Black 2. The last time we saw some guy named John, he was challenging for the 880 championship in a three-way match against, at the time, the brand new champion, Brandon St. James, and Gianni Michael Enrico. But John and Leaders by Example clearly have something to say here.
They got an intern. It doesn't surprise me that Leaders by Example want someone to work for
that's
free.
That's enough. It's been a while since we've seen all of you. The Leaders by Example took a little break after we lost the war on drugs at Painted Black. But we don't have to talk about that.
We can talk about it.
What we need to talk about is what is going wrong with Leaders by Example. We started the year as the 880 Tag Team Champions, and we're clearly gay enough to be the best tag team of all time, but maybe there just aren't enough of us to be the greatest tag team of all time. Before that horrible TNF champion, emphasis on whore, Marco Narciso, and our MIA leader, amateur wrestler Reese Hayes, disappeared, we were kicking ass. The Leaders were on top of 880 Wrestling. But now, it's Clayton King, some guy named John, and I swear this isn't a bit, I just can't remember this jackass's name.
Definitely something ITCH.
Yeah, definitely.
The point is, people like him aren't leaders, they're interns. They grab coffee for leaders. The Leaders need the best. We need someone who could step into this ring and go toe-to-toe with Clayton King and some guy named John. And that's what we're gonna do tonight. Get me the contract, dude.
Contract?
What this contract stipulates. Because let's face it, the Leaders by Example, we don't have many friends in the locker room.
If any.
We are giving someone an opportunity. If they come to this ring for a fair 2-on-1 fight, mono a two monos, and they can defeat the Leaders by Example, we will leave 880 Wrestling forever.
Forever?
Forever. I don't know if John knows the meaning of fair.
But if we win, this competitor will become the newest Leader by Example. And I can't guarantee that this contract's ironclad. The only lawyer who was a dumbass enough to work with 880 Wrestling had to retire when he stepped up to the Leaders by Example.
Who could that be?
But I kid. Whatever dumbass in the back thinks they can do this, bring it on.
Ooh. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it.
The Italian strongman, Gianni Michael Enrico, seemingly here to answer the 1-on-2 challenge of the Leaders by Example. So let me get this straight. If Gianni can defeat both members of Leaders, they will be gone from 880 Wrestling forever.
Forever.
But if Gianni falls to the numbers game here, he has to join the Leaders?
He's got to join them. From what I remember from GME, looking at strong and as Italian as I remember.
Well, most certainly, Gianni Michael Enrico is one of the best and brightest to come into 880 Wrestling, a multi-time 880 champion, 2 times to be exact. But I mean, Leaders by Example certainly are no slouches in their own right.
Absolutely not.
So you're not just in there, with a couple of young up-and-comers. We're talking about former 880 Tag Team Champions. Some guy named John has competed for the Hardcore Championship. He's a former TNF champion. He's competed for the 880 Championship. Clayton King has won gold in other organizations, a former VCW heavyweight champion. So this might be a tall order here for GME.
Tall order indeed. Definitely something to say about stepping up to the plate. 2 against 1. And some guy named John saying this was going to be a fair fight.
John wants a test of strength with Gianni, Michael, and Rico. I think if this is on the up and up, I think he's at a disadvantage.
Absolutely. Strong, it's in the name.
Turns out it was not on the up and up, but John able to capitalize after that thumb to the eye. We've got big, strong John slamming the Italian strong man.
Some guy named John he's like if small print was a person.
Johnny kind of toying with them there, flipping around, and here comes the tag to Clayton King. Looking for the ball and elbow and miss, but there's John immediately to capitalize. And again, Gianni's kind of succumbing to the numbers game. Ball and elbow with John holding the ankles. He's still able to get his shoulders up and avoid it.
Are they 0 for 4 in elbow drops right now? I'm not an analyst guy, but
for 0 for 2 on ducking clotheslines for sure. Gianni's now got Clayton isolated into the corner. In a match like this, this is how you win. Keep one member of the twosome isolated.
Right.
Big side slam coming by GME. The crowd firmly behind GME. They want to see leaders out of here, TRK.
Oh, yeah.
Look out, there's Mitch, the intern.
Oh, is that his name? Okay.
Getting involved. I think that's his name. That's how I recall. And now Gianni giving chase to Mitch. And basically, Mitch kind of turning this into almost a 3-on-1. Clayton able to take advantage and turn momentum in the favor of the leaders.
I just want to know what example they're trying to lead by. Exactly. That's what jumps off to me. When you talk about a leader of example, it's supposed to be like a person in your community is supposed to take off, show everyone how it's done, live life on the up and up, be a what's the word I'm looking for, partner?
Well, certainly they've taken stands in the past about certain substances that were in use in and around the warehouse. You could argue that's leading by example to a certain point.
I guess so. You know, if you're a narc, you're not a narc, Paul, are you?
I take somewhat of offense at the insinuation, but nevertheless, Clayton King here holding on to Gianni, Michael, and Rico. And again, this is well within the rules here for leaders by example to have frequent tags, kind of isolate Gianni near the corner. Now, what's not within the rules here is Mitch in the ring, about to get involved, though it backfires, and a chop from Mitch to his employer, I guess I would say, Clayton King, and now a chop from Gianni to Clayton.
It is not well within the rules to just do that to the referee.
And now a chop from John to
goodness.
Clayton. So again, kind of 0 for 3 on those chops. Clayton took all 3 of them. Clayton staggered and down he goes. But again, Gianni cannot capitalize because John from behind immediately getting himself involved. And to some extent, it's well within the rules. Now he's subject to a 5 count here, but he breaks it in time. So theoretically, no rules truly broken.
No rules broken.
What kind of synergy do you think there would be beyond with Gianni, Michael, and Rico and the leaders by example if he were to fall into their ranks?
Oh, man. Then, having such a talent and in-ring presence added to your stable like Gianni just kind of sets you apart from everyone else.
Certainly it would be a boon to them from a talent perspective. But yeah, I'm curious how he would mesh. Now mocking the GME taunt. His leaders are in full control of this one. Didn't even phase him.
Oh, wow. Bounced right off.
Meeting of the minds action.
Little coconut action.
Forearm shots by Gianni. Just doing it by himself, fighting them both off. Big boot by the Italian strongman. You feel momentum starting to shift.
Uh-oh.
Thinking choke slam here.
He's not done.
And you can start to feel the 880 wrestling careers of John and Clayton starting to slip away here, TRK.
Absolutely.
Double clothesline, taking both leaders down.
Gianni's certainly showing his stuff in this one.
He's not attempted to put this away yet. No pin attempts yet. Now Mitch once again involving himself on the apron, distracting the official. Eye off the ball.
Oh.
Low blows in tandem.
Oh my gosh.
And a double roll up. Wait a second. And
Double
GME
Here are
is in
your
LBE?
winners. Leaders by example.
What?
So not only are leaders by example remaining in 880 wrestling, but they have formally added GME to their ranks.
The winners of this match, leaders, hold on. Gianni, apparently one of the things David Lawless failed to teach you was reading comprehension. Because if you read that contract, you know there's not a single thing you can do to me. You can't lay a hand on me. You can't lift a fucking finger unless Clayton King, myself, or hell, even the bitch here says so. That means your career is ours. That trilogy with Tony Johnson, the match you've been looking forward to, canceled.
Are you kidding me? Is this
I
like a
tell you, I
blood
wanted to
contract?
see GME lead 880 against those idiots from Canada. Well, guess what? I don't care about that show. I'm going to take the night off, and now you are too.
No way! No! Stay home!
But at the end of the day, Gianni, you're the real winner tonight. Because you get to be a leader by example. Let's hit his music.
Draping that t-shirt over the shoulder of the newest member, apparently,
This is a sad day.
of Leaders by Example.
This is the wrong day to come back.
And we've now learned that some guy named John and Clayton King have also effectively banned Gianni, Michael, and Rico from participating in the Pittsburgh versus Canada event in just 2 days on Saturday, April 25th. I know a couple people that Gianni might be able to talk to about being banned from that event, but in any event, Leaders by Example expanding their roster with the addition of the Italian strongman. Gianni is not pleased, but I don't know that he has much of a choice but to fall in line.
How's it going to be Pittsburgh versus Canada? Well, one of our best people. Johnny, Michael, you will be there. Sorry, I'm mad.
I'll be there, Tyler. Don't you worry.
Okay.
Let's toss things back over to Eamon Payton to get us ready for our next contest.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a strange and unfortunate turn of events, to say the least. But
Say that again.
getting past that, who's ready for some more wrestling? This next match is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, team number 1, being accompanied by Gunnar Bergmann. First, fighting out of Space Coast, Florida, this is the Peanut Butter Zombie, Saturn Price. His partner, fighting out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he is the Eraser, Remy, LaVey. Together, they represent the Dead Hand Society.
And just last week, it was a different configuration of the Dead Hand Society, that of Anti-Hero, Saturn Price and Aaron Daniel Norman, who came up short against Psychedelic Dreams in an 880 Tag Team Championship match. So we'll shuffle things up a little bit, and Saturn Price and Remy LaVey,
their opponent,
will try to get back in the win column.
Just seems like every time I see these guys, I got a new person.
Certainly one of the most popular wrestlers we have here in 880 Wrestling. The warehouse about to come unglued for the Cannabis Casanova.
Oh, yeah, I know I am.
Making their way to the ring, they are the team of fighting out of where the wild things are. This is the Appalachian Cryptid, the Bearcat, Keith Haught, and his partner, fighting out of the Kush Clouds of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is the Shaman of Smoke, the Cannabis Casanova, Blizzy.
And TRK, one of the things that really caught my eye when I saw this match on paper is just, again, the continuity of the Dead Hand Society versus somewhat of a makeshift team in Blizzy Blake and Keith Haught. But here with the unified entrance, they appear they might be more on the same page than I would have expected.
Absolutely. That's what makes you a true professional, when you're a plug-and-play kind of person. Any environment, anytime, anywhere. And that's what I see with this team of Blizzy Blake and Keith Haught.
Certainly much has been said about the Dead Hand Society and its status. The trigger finger of the Dead Hand Society, the Black Sheep Nix Wild, has not been seen since Paint It Black 2, when they lost the 880 championship to Brandon St. James. And a lot of those times there have been questions about who's going to step up as the leader of Dead Hand Society. Would it be Saturn Price? Could it be the former 880 champion Remy LaVey? Does Dead Hand Society even need an interim leader? Everything seemed fine up until last week in falling short in that 880 championship match. But again, a chance to right that wrong here tonight against the team of Blizzy and Keith. Referee George Ross utilizing the 5 count.
Oh, yeah.
Keith Haught, little shoving match. Things getting a little bitter here between Remy and Keith.
Oh, yeah. These two very familiar with one another.
Into the side headlock. Keith now whips Remy into the ropes, and a collision. Both of them brushing it off, and they're looking to collide again.
Big collision. Feeling it all the way down at the NFL draft.
And kick to the face area there by Remy LaVey, but Keith not completely phased by it, and Keith now taking down Remy with that shoulder tackle. Bearcat strikes in the corner. Big shot and the tag to Blizzy Blake.
Blizzy Blake, very nimble.
Blizzy this month has had quite the memorable series with the Playboy Elijah Love, but back in tag team action this week. Little poetry in motion for Keith Haught and Blizzy.
A good matchup here.
Into the cover, Remy gets the shoulder up.
This team of Blizzy Blake and Keith Haught, what a good mixture of power, speed, and athleticism.
Always exciting to have, some complementary styles, as you mentioned there. In comes the Peanut Butter Zombie, Saturn Price. You could say contrasting styles, complementary styles on the DHS side of the equation as well.
Absolutely.
Glenn, Blizzy failing to get the upper hand there just based on the size of Saturn.
A little bit of a size difference there.
Saturn charges in the corner, but Blizzy now going around and around. And into the corner goes Price. Blizzy getting this crowd fired up at the warehouse. Big splash into the corner.
Nice roll.
And we'll follow up. A bit of a European uppercut. Open-handed chop to the chest, and Blizzy about to walk the line.
Ooh.
Blizzy really getting the better of Saturn Price here.
Kicks.
Now looking to lift Saturn in again. Just kind of giving out, does not quite have the strength to get him up on his shoulders, does Blizzy. And that gives Saturn an opening to kind of take control here, though. Big super kick by Blizzy, and Saturn's in the wrong corner.
Oh, yeah. Bad spot to be. They're trying to make any kind of comeback here.
Tag Team Wrestling 101, though. Remy LaVey coming all the way around to the apron, taking Blizzy out of the equation and giving Saturn a different kind of opening there. Clothesline.
Classic Dead Hand Society maneuver.
What do you make of Gunnar Bergmann on the outside? First time you've seen him, I imagine.
Ooh, big guy. Big dangerous guy. It's like a guy that you just don't want to accidentally bump into, because if you did, there'd be trouble.
You know, I had him walk me to my car once. It was crazy. There was all kinds of horrible stuff happening to the broadcast team.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, please do.
Breaking the choke before the count of 5. But the damage still done. And Keith Haught kind of just reeling there up against the ropes, utilizing that 5 count again. And now Gunnar Bergmann getting himself involved in this one. Again, you pick your favorite or least favorite pack animal, depending on how you want to look at it. And Dead Hand Society is the personification of that. Gunnar Bergmann is again, not officially a part of this match, but we've seen him get involved here on more than one occasion.
Oh, yeah.
Now Saturn into the cover, not enough. Keith Haught gets the shoulder up.
Whether it's 3 people against 2, it's going to need a lot more to put down someone like Keith Haught.
They are fighting back. Is the Bearcat, though Saturn Price, is he biting them? What was that?
You just never know with this group. Biting, scratching, clawing, slamming, punching.
And now it's Keith Haught who is in the wrong corner.
Ooh.
Frequent tags by DHS.
Trying to take Keith Haught's eyebrow off.
Big clothesline by the former 880 champion Remy LaVey into the cover for a near fall. Again, just that veteran presence of Remy LaVey staying on Keith after the near fall. And Keith just crawling back to the corner opposite the one they want to be in.
Absolutely.
It's Remy with the boot and Saturn with the strikes. Ooh. Bearcat getting a little bit upset, fighting their way back into this one, though.
Ooh, right in the eyes.
And again, it's Dead Hand Society, just never afraid to leverage the rules to their advantage, hoping the referee just swallows the whistle.
You saw the peanut butter zombie get sky high with those knees there.
In Dead Hand Society, there's more members of the group than I could count. Came close to winning the 880 Tag Team Championships in our main event last week. Saturn able to dodge Keith there. Keith going full speed into the corner. And what's Saturn thinking here? Ooh. Sunset flip?
Oh.
I've seen this before.
Oh. Oh.
That seems like an appropriate angle to show that.
I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad I'm back. Bearcat bumper. Boom. Look at the slow motion. Poetry in motion.
It's great action like that you have not seen since last fall.
Yeah.
TRK.
I'm reinvigorated.
And Blizzy and Remy in here. Little hockey fight action. Is it safe to bring up hockey in this town?
It might not be.
Irish whip reverse. Blizzy springboarding off the ropes into the crossbody. Remy didn't see that one coming. Blizzy with those educated feet. And Remy on the ropes. He can pick up that member of DHS. Into the cover. 2 3/4.
2 and some change.
Now Gunnar Bergmann up on the apron now. Distracting George Ross.
Oh, what was that he had in his hand? Looked like a brick or something.
Looks like he slipped something to Remy. But a miscue. Remy hits Saturn instead of Blizzy.
It's a piece of a brick, like a cinder block.
Piece of brick, a large stone, something to that effect, and now Gunnar.
I know Blizzy likes to get stoned,
Blizzy
but not
backslide
that way.
pin. That's 3. He got him.
Here are your winners, the team of Haught and Blizzy Blade.
And so the somewhat strange bedfellows team of Haught and Blizzy Blake able to take advantage of multiple Dead Hand Society miscues and pull out a tag team victory here.
A little bit of friendly fire there from the Dead Hand Society. Sometimes you gamble too much, you get greedy, it backfires.
And that's now back-to-back losses for Dead Hand Society. Oh, wait a second. Shove from Saturn.
Uh-oh. A little bit of family drama here.
And Gunnar Bergmann trying to keep the peace here between Saturn Price and Remy LaVey. They're about to come to blows here.
I kind of want to see it. Ooh.
Show of disrespect, and now it's all that Gunnar can do to hold Remy back. And Saturn Price walking out on his partner. Everything had seemed fine with DHS up until about a week or so ago.
Wow. A little bit of family drama here. Well, that's going to be an awkward dinner table later.
Things may not be okay with Dead Hand Society after all.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Let's toss things back to Eamon Payton, our wise owl of 880 Wrestling.
Yeah.
He'll be my broadcast partner this Saturday.
As we continue on this evening, please welcome to the ring at this time, the 880 Wrestling Hardcore Champion, KC War!
Well, not too long ago, north of the border, KC got into a war with Matt Cash over at Canadian Deathmatch. We know that KC War and Matt Cash will be on a collision course less than 48 hours away for the 880 Hardcore Championship at Pittsburgh versus Canada. And it looks like KC might have a couple things on his mind leading up to that contest. There you see that graphic. Our main event for Pittsburgh versus Canada. KC War, Matt Cash, 880 Hardcore Championship, running back their encounter from Canadian Deathmatch, where it was Matt Cash who got the upper hand.
That look of KC War's face, just looking into those eyes. Those eyes just say, I want to take your soul and eat it. Shit it out and then maybe eat it again.
The 880 Hardcore Champion and one half of the Hybrid Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champions with his brother in the fourth line, Brandon St. James. KC War seems more of a blood drinker than a soul eater,
True.
from what I've heard talking to him and
So true.
just hearing him around the arenas.
I left the other two at home. You know, it's kind of funny. After you win your first singles championship, all of a sudden everyone wants a piece of you. You know, it was a tough year. 365 days, constantly getting screwed over. And, you know, in this business, close doesn't just cut it. Second place is the first loser. And then January, Kings of the Cold. I walked out victorious over amateur wrestler Reese Hayes and became your 880 Hardcore Champion. He's not hardcore. He hasn't been seen for a while.
What's on your mind?
I'll tell you. You know, now that I am the champion, as I said, everyone wants a piece. And so that means I have a target on my back. That means every wrestler in the back that thinks they're just as sadistic, just as crazy, just as unhinged as the Shoot psychopath. You've got another thing coming. But it turns out this Saturday, I have a date for the main event for Pittsburgh versus Canada. 880 versus Hybrid Championship Wrestling. They're bums from Canada. That's all you need to know. You never heard of them.
Maybe a little much. We love our partnership with
So
Hybrid Wrestling.
they think they can walk into our home barn, our territory, 880 Wrestling, and call their shots. Well, 2 weeks ago at Canadian Deathmatch's Crazy 8 tournament, I had a match against Matt Cash. You'll meet him because him and I went to war. It is. That's funny. We bled. We beat the ever-living shit out of each other. And I'd love to do it again. And that's exactly what you want. Because after the Crazy 8 tournament, you issued a challenge to me for the 880 Hardcore Championship. And I don't think you really understand, Matt. I spent that calendar year constantly fighting from underneath, fighting to climb the mountain for the 880 Hardcore Championship. And you think you can step to me? You think you can come to Pittsburgh and say that you're gonna take this title from me? No. You got another thing coming. Because I am the craziest. I am the most unhinged. And you think that you can take this title? Well, you can take it from my cold, bloody fucking hands. Because this Saturday, again in the main event, KC War versus Matt Cash for the Hardcore Championship. And I got 3 words for you, and everyone else here will scream it with me. Let's fucking
Well, the Muay Thai Maniac has spoken.
LFG&D. All right, main event.
In our main event this Saturday, 880 Hardcore Championship, KC War versus Matt Cash. It'll be here at the warehouse. It will be on KC War's home turf. And we will see how that rematch plays out. That one will not be for the faint
Folks,
of heart.
that is this Saturday, Pittsburgh versus Canada, right here at the warehouse. Get your tickets on Ticket Leap. Follow us on 880 Wrestling to get the links for that as well. You are not going to want to miss being here in person at the warehouse for that event. This next match is a singles match scheduled for one fall. Out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, this is the Villainous Liberty L.
In recent weeks, we've seen a bit of a change in demeanor for the Villainous Liberty L. Maybe starting to live up to that villainous name just a bit more after losing the TNF Championship to Marco Narciso toward the beginning of the year, then falling short against the Black Sheep Nix Wild in an 880 championship match. And she has some more frustrations to get out on her opponent tonight.
Making his way to the ring, fighting out of East New York. He's old enough to know better, young enough to not give a damn. This is Shotgun Adams.
And Shotgun Adams will certainly be a test here for the Villainous Liberty L. Liberty L had one of the most dominant TNF championship reigns in recent memory. But again, just kind of finding herself on the wrong side of the win-loss column maybe one too many times here in 2026. And I think this we're seeing that change in attitude, that change in demeanor right here in the early going, but kind of based on the way she's addressing Shotgun here.
Oh, yeah. She's just as dangerous as I remember, maybe even more. We're trying to get Shotgun a way out here.
Attitude that certainly won't make her any friends, either out in the crowd here or across the ring from her. And Shotgun bringing the fight to Liberty early. And this is those vicious strikes by the Villainous. Again, had such a memorable TNF championship run, kind of around the time that she was embracing the fans a little bit more. All of a sudden, you take a change of attitude. You have her, maybe have a slightly more complicated relationship with the rules, not caring about that. It just makes her ever the more dangerous.
Absolutely. Willing to toe the line of what's allowed and what's not allowed is always a threat.
And Shotgun here misses with the forearm. Liberty ducks, and Liberty big.
Woo. Slamming the night.
Big impact there from the Villainous. But again, kind of another part of this new side here, taking some time to jaw with these fans here, maybe taking her eye off the ball for a second.
Wow.
It might have been the difference in Shotgun being able to kick out of that pin attempt.
A lot of brave fans tonight. I'll tell you one thing, partner. I'm not mouthing off at Liberty L. That's an early death for me.
Liberty a couple times has verbally threatened to get physical with one of our broadcast colleagues here, Toddy Tondera.
Oh, we miss you, Toddy. Or at least I do. I don't know what everyone else's vibe is.
Big kick by Liberty L. You do not speak for me, TRK. And Liberty L, pin attempt here. Bit of a lackadaisical cover there from the Villainous. But staying right on Shotgun here. Declaring he's going to give up.
The look of anguish. Oh, right into the eye.
Shotgun not afraid to do what it takes to stay in this one either. misses again, takes Liberty down with that clothesline. Shotgun into the cover, 2.
Ooh.
And Liberty kicks out.
Trying to take Liberty L's head off.
But now Shotgun here. Shotgun has become such an everyday player here in 880 Wrestling. We're seeing him week in and week out, reversing of the suplex. Liberty into the cover again. And again, just these frequent pin attempts. How much does that take out of somebody needing to just constantly kick out of a pin attempt every 20 to 30 seconds?
The Cats have 9 lives, but how many lives does Shotgun Adams have?
Every move seemingly an attempt to put this one away. Big leg drop by Liberty. And another pin attempt there. Shotgun Adams able to get the shoulder up again. Again, this one's been all Liberty for the past several minutes, TRK.
Oh, yeah. Very reminiscent of Seattle Seahawks versus Denver Broncos in that Super Bowl. Liberty L's looking like the Legion of Boom right now.
Big chop to Shotgun Adams. And a second one.
Liberty trying to take one of Shotgun Adams' nipples home with her.
Shotgun there. Big clothesline, but it seemingly took a lot out of him as well. I'm not sure he can truly capitalize on it. Slowly crawling into that pin attempt. You see the replay here provided by Sidekick Media Services. Shotgun that big clothesline, but again, just the previous damage he had taken does not allow him to truly take advantage. And it's Liberty, quite frankly, back up to her feet first and back on offense here.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Big forearm from Shotgun. That'll slow her down, or will it?
Yeah, right.
She charges right in.
Oof.
Forearm by Shotgun. Now back to the other side of the ring. Almost got deja vu there, but Shotgun bringing her down with another clothesline.
Wow.
Just chaining these clotheslines together. Liberty misses with the boot.
Ooh.
Big knee by Shotgun. And the Villainous is staggered. Straps are coming down.
Shotgun getting the titties out.
Tackle into the corner. Shotgun looking fisherman suplex here.
Ooh. Almost like a fisherman brainbuster. Mounting a comeback here.
And again, the Villainous not somebody you really want to take your eye off of here. But Shotgun doing everything to try to make this happen up on the top rope, though Liberty able to recover. And now it's her that might get to take advantage of Shotgun's aggressiveness here.
Oh, yeah.
Headbutts in the corner. They're now trading headbutts. Who's getting the better of this one? Shotgun did.
Whoa.
Now maybe looking to fly from the second rope. Big elbow drop by Shotgun Adams. But again,
High risk, high reward there.
high risk. The damage is done, but very slow crawling over into that cover. 1, 2, and the kick out by Liberty L. And TRK, you have to wonder if that delay made the difference there in this being a 3 count or not.
Absolutely. Doing all that damage early might have cost him. It's really taking a toll.
Double underhook here.
Uh-oh.
Liberty blocks it. Forearm shot. And look at these clubbing blows. So Shotgun able to kind of throw an elbow and get back into this one.
Taking more articles of stuff off. Oh!
Matrix-like move by Liberty L.
Oh, wow.
Driving Shotgun Adams back into the corner. And now just being unrelenting with these strikes.
Oh, whoa, whoa. Can't do that to the ref. Whoa.
Now, fireman's carry here by Liberty L. Now bumping Shotgun into the turnbuckle, and a Death Valley driver was kind of a float over there. Now into the cover. 1, 2. Shogun able to get the shoulder up.
The look on Liberty's face. She knows exactly what to do.
Almost satisfied to some extent by Shogun kicking out, the ability to dole out more punishment. Big strike. She typically follows this up with the Iron Maiden submission. And it is just about locked in the center of the ring, and there it is.
Oh, man.
Do not like Shotgun's chances to get out of this one,
Look at the look in her eyes. Looking to put another head on her mantle.
And that's it.
She's still holding it.
Here is your winner, Liberty L.
The bell is okay. Now she finally lets go.
I say Liberty has to watch out here. There's a chance that if she's not careful, that decision could get reversed.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa!
To referee
Oh
Tony
my gosh!
DeLeo. What's happening here?
Oh my gosh! Liberty L just taking home a dead body, maybe two of them.
And locking the Iron Maiden in again. And both officials here trying to get Liberty off of Shotgun, but again, they're in harm's way just as much as he is, as we saw with what happened to Tony DeLeo.
Oh, man.
Tony DeLeo getting more than pie in his face. He ate several forearms from the Villainous.
Couple knuckle sandwiches. This is not the same Liberty L I remember.
You can see the slow motion replay again, that clubbing blow to the back.
That beheading.
The Iron Maiden submission finished off the match, but it was nothing but chaos afterwards. And look at these strikes to Tony DeLeo.
That was Bush League.
Completely uncalled for.
That was Bush League.
To assault the official.
Have some decorum when it comes to your officials.
Well, with only 2 matches left tonight, I have a feeling that Tony DeLeo's night is done.
Tony DeLeo has a family. He's a father. He's a taxpayer.
My goodness,
Well, folks, before we continue on with more wrestling action here tonight, we have a few shout-outs that we want to give to some of the amazing people here at 880 Wrestling that make this show happen each and every Thursday, and we want to show them some love. First, our sponsors for this evening. Give it up for La Spada Contracting and Landscaping. Go visit them for all your home renovation needs. 412-508-1669. I also want to give a shout-out to Arnold Glass and Vape, right outside of New Kensington. Go visit them. Yeah! Love me some Arnold Glass and Vape. I also want to mention, if you want to be a sponsor for 880 Wrestling, be sure to send us an email at 880wrestling@gmail.com. Be a part of the family. We would love to have you. I also want to give a shout out to the crew that streams us every single week on IndyWrestling.live and on YouTube. Give it up for Sidekick Media Services, Sorg, and our amazing camera people who've been doing a fantastic job all night long. Over on sound, give it up for D, as well as the emotional support twink, Lane Alexander. I also want to thank our lighting crew for this evening, Zane, Aaron, the entire Woods family do a fantastic job of lighting us each and every week. I want to shout out our commentary team for this evening, a very special duo. First of all, give it up for professional Paul Michaels.
Yes, Paul.
And joining us as a special guest for this week, we are so excited to have him back here at 880 Wrestling. Give it up for Tyler Ray Kendrick.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Wow. Thank you.
I want to thank our referees for this evening, George Ross, Scotty
back.
Davidson, Tony Leo, who hopefully we can get an update on, but unfortunate events. But credit to all of them for the action they've been calling all night long. And last but not least, my name is Eamon Payton. Thank you all so much for being here.
Hold the phone, TRK.
Hold the phone, indeed.
That is the music of Pittsburgh's favorite crash out, Zeke Mercer. Not dressed to compete, but rather dressed to speak.
Oh my.
Listen here. I see you giving everyone their flowers, and I'm happy for that. I'm glad that we have fostered an environment where we can give each other our flowers. And, you know, I do want to send out a thank you for every last one of you, including you, little Eamon. When you guys cheer for me, when you guys actually give me the flowers I want, it's actually a great thing. And I love it. So thank you.
Zeke hasn't changed a bit.
Now you be careful with Eamon. I need him for Saturday.
Help prove to everyone who doesn't like me that you're just as much as an idiot as the guy right here.
Whoa, whoa.
You're not even realizing that you're proving my point. 880 doesn't want to make me the star because they know, he knows entirely, that I am the real star of the show. They know this since day one. And yet, I don't get early enough announcement time for my matches. No. I have to find out the day before or 2 days before or whenever they feel like because they don't want me to be the face of this company.
Is that true? Is Zeke the face of the company? Have I been on that long?
You know I'm the face here. You know every week I'm the reason why you show up. Every week why you watch, I'm the reason why I'm here. You do not get it twisted. And matter of fact, I actually, for the first time ever, so I want to celebrate with you. For the first time ever, Zeke Mercer has actually been given the opportunity to become a champion. April 25th, Saturday, I am going to take part of a 6-man scramble match. It'll be 6, 7, 10, whichever one there are. And I will beat every last person in that match between Canada and Pittsburgh and everyone else. And I will become your reigning, defending, awesome, sexy, sweet 880 champion. And I don't care who becomes the winner after BSJ loses or wins. Either way, I, Zeke Mercer, will be your new 880 champion.
Wow. Sexy, sweet champion?
Well, come Saturday, April 25th, she's got a date with Destiny. We know that the queer-coded villain, Zeke Mercer, will be part of a scramble match to determine the #1 contender for the 880 championship. Whether that will be Brandon St. James or Christian Starr as the champion, we'll find that out Saturday as well. But we know the winner of that scramble will be next in line, and it could be Zeke Mercer.
So okay.
He mess up his
Good.
hair
That's
like
all that
that.
matters, I guess. Anyways, continuing on, this next match is a trios match scheduled for one fall.
Trios action coming up here on Thursday Night Fights. And TRK, here is a new-to-you competitor that's been tearing things up at the warehouse for most of 2026.
First, team number 1. First, representing Albania, he is the Balkan Beast, Jurgen Musabelliu. His partner, fighting out of Burlington, Ontario, Canada, he is the Croatian sensation, Boris Crobos. And their partner, fighting out of Columbus, Ohio, this is the Flower Child, Theo Strong.
Interesting trio here of Theo Strong, Boris Crobos, and Jurgen Musabelliu. Jurgen is making his 880 wrestling debut. by way of Hybrid Championship Wrestling.
And their opponents. Making their way to the ring, fighting out of the CCAC Auxiliary Gymnasium. They are the team of The Muscle, Mickey Morris. His partner, Big Jim Fridge. And rounding out the team, standing at 6'7", Dan Swayze. They are the Department of Jocks.
Now, TRK, earlier in this week, the Department of Jocks put out a press release officially declaring themselves for the NFL Draft. And I suspect that none of them have received a phone call yet.
Not yet, but the weekend's still young. Shedeur Sanders famously went in the last round, and he's a starter. So still hope for the Department of Jocks.
Did you see that press release? Everything was spelled correctly.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Well, everyone has access to ChatGPT. Yeah, everyone's got access to AI technology these days.
I hope the Jocks don't use AI.
I hope not. They're trying to turn a new leaf.
What are these guys doing, man?
Getting into golf. Getting into golf. There it is. I have been gone a long time. Did I see that right? Everyone was clapping for them?
People love the Jocks now. You have been gone for a while. The Department of Jocks are very popular here at the warehouse.
Wow. It's a new dawn. It's a new day.
Did you just call him a nerd?
Boris, Crobos, back-to-back weeks now, will wrestle in suspenders.
Love it. Sometimes you don't have time for a belt.
Police, he's bullying him for wearing suspenders. That's what we cheer for. That's fucking great.
Now, I will say, I have been on my absolute best behavior tonight because I don't want to get banned from Pittsburgh versus Canada like some of my colleagues might have. But I will say last week, when Theo Strong walked out of the ring, I made a comment to the effect of, I don't feel like Theo Strong is really a part of Team Pittsburgh.
Correct.
And my broadcast colleague, Toddy Tondera, looked at me like I had three heads. And what team is Theo Strong on tonight, TRK?
Good work. Good job.
I'm doing my best out here. I'm really busy.
Getting a congratulations and a nice job from Big Jim Fridge. Heck yeah. All right. The vibe is different now.
They've been very uplifting in recent weeks.
I thought something was up when I came in, and the Department of Jocks asked me if I needed anything to drink, and I thought it was going to be a prank.
So Mickey Morris will start things off here with Jurgen Musabelliu. Again, coming from Hybrid Championship Wrestling. And what is known about Jurgen up to this point, he's very methodical. He's very deliberate in every action that he takes. He moves with purpose in the ring. He's always calm and calculated.
Big drop kick.
But if there's a group that can throw you off your game, it's certainly the Department of Jocks.
They're a whole department.
Sit down, little boy.
Ooh.
Mickey Morris now jawing.
A little bit of nice little trash talk coming out of Morris.
Into the corner. Some unorthodox offense. Morris into the cover. 1, 2. And Jurgen getting the shoulder up. So what do you make of this kind of Team Ohio Canada that's standing across from the Jocks here?
Yeah, it's, as we reported earlier, this isn't normally like a team. Yeah, they still got a lot to learn, and they might not have the cohesion as the Department of Jocks, which cohesion, when we're talking about tag team, comes into play.
Yeah, I always love to say that an effective team is always more than the sum of its parts. I think DOJ has kind of reaching that level here in 880 Wrestling.
Absolutely.
But the kind of the strange bedfellows here of Theo, Boris, and Jurgen might be at kind of a disadvantage because of that.
Absolutely.
In comes Big Dev Swayze. Do you know how tall he is?
6'7". He's
Looks like
6'7".
Looks like if Boris jumps, he can get up to 6'7".
Oh, yeah.
Shoulder tackle attempt does not move Dev.
Big Dev Swayze, size 14 boots. Yep. Ooh!
Did you know that people used to deny that Dev Swayze was 6'7"?
Yeah, people used to say he was 5'9".
There's no way that's true. Now flexing that height, offering the test of strength that Boris can't reach, though Boris finds an effective alternate strategy. Swings Boris into the ropes. Big shoulder tackle. Drop kick by Swayze.
Uh-oh. Hitting the dance.
And a little dance. Swayze with that swinging neck breaker. Hooks the leg.
I used to not enjoy the dance moves, but now that they've grown on me.
It seems to be happening a lot around here.
Growing on me.
Tag to Big Jim Fridge. Swayze and Fridge have had a couple of opportunities in Enjoy Wrestling in 2026. Ball and tandem ball and elbows there to Boris.
Big Jim Fridge putting on the silencer.
Irish whip into the corner. And big uppercut by Fridge.
Lining it up. Ooh.
And the boot connects.
I think I saw his head spin around a couple times.
It's entirely possible. It has been all DOJ here for the last few minutes. Big splash, but just as I say that, commentators curse. Boris gets the knees up. And Crobos charging in. Look at this. And referee Scotty Davidson begging him off, making him answer the 5 count. Boris is fired up here.
Boris is fired up.
Boris Crobos will now bring Fridge over into his corner. In comes Theo Strong.
Strong indeed. Theo Strong looking just briskety. That's how I would describe him. Briskety.
Strong has gone to war with some of the best and brightest that 880 Wrestling have to offer. He's gone toe-to-toe with MV Young, the hardcore champion KC War. It's a who's who. He has not always come out on the winning side of those. Look at this.
Look at this. Just a mauling.
Scotty Davidson distracted as they just maul Big Jim Fridge, as you put it. But Theo recently starting to get into the win column here in 880.
Oof.
But iron sharpens iron in those wars with people like MV Young and with Blizzy Blake.
Now,
KC War.
I'll say this. Not a lot of respect for the referees tonight. Not a lot of respect. We've seen one get beat down. We've seen get it tossed about. Scotty Davidson just getting jawed at.
Yeah, we're down a referee already.
We're down a referee.
Still to come in our main event, both the Fest Wrestling Championship and the Hybrid Championship will be on the line. As the Suplex Shogun Jackson Stone will make his 880 debut, taking on MV Young. Back to this trios action here. Big suplex by Theo Strong.
The sheer speed on that suplex. Big Jim Fridge is not a small guy.
And it's been a long time since physics class, but I believe that the faster suplexes should probably hurt more.
Yeah, absolutely.
Near fall there for Strong. Big Jim Fridge desperately trying to make a tag, but again, just in the wrong corner. Can't tag either of those guys.
Can't do that.
and has possibly just invited even more punishment, though Fridge fighting back, doing it himself, knocking both of the Canadians off the apron, and now bringing the fight to Theo.
Trying to mount a comeback there, thwarted.
Now back into that Team Ohio Canada corner.
Those punches are rough. Ooh.
And Fridge might have found his opening. No. Big power slam. Into the cover, hooks the leg. 2.
Again, just slamming folks out there really fast. The speed on these slams. Breaking the sound barrier. Look at that.
See that replay provided by Sidekick Media Services. Was not enough to put away Big Jim Fridge, but now again, Jurgen Musabelliu in this matchup.
Just folded backwards with that.
Very strong amateur background. Possibly the strongest technical wrestler in this match. Again, great complementary styles on this Canadian trio. And we might be going surfing here.
Oh, God. You're not even supposed to bend that way.
In more ways than one, Jim Fridge is in a bad, bad way. Though not able to get the submission. Goodness, what's he thinking now?
Ooh.
Coming down.
Trying to destroy the ACLs.
Certainly might lead him to a submission victory later. Again, everything that Jurgen Musabelliu does is with purpose. Continuing to work those legs. And Big Jim Fridge desperately needs to get to the other corner.
Jeez. Just thundering down with maximum glutage, as his uniform would say.
And again, taking advantage of the fact that referee Scotty Lefty Davidson is distracted. All three of them just, my goodness.
Just dogpiling over there.
Dogpiling and Jurgen just wailing on that leg. I'm not sure that Fridge can stand on his own at this point. Certainly has the corner to use for leverage.
Absolutely.
Fridge fighting back out of this, but needs to make a tag. Leg injury would certainly hurt that draft stock as well.
Absolutely. No one wants to damage goods.
Whip into the corner, Fridge.
Oh, trying to go up and under.
Well scouted by Jurgen. Fridge throwing elbows. Just trying to find any opening, but then back in the corner, and look at the uppercuts. Just so calculated and deliberate. Ooh. Big knee strike. Into the cover, and Fridge keeps fighting.
Oh my gosh. The fire has not gone out in Big Jim Fridge.
In comes the tag. Boris Crobos now back into this one. Representing Hybrid Championship Wrestling. We saw Boris earlier pay an assist to Robbie Hollywood back in our opening contest. Was arguably a factor in Robbie's victory over Sammy Suntheimer.
Big Jim Fridge taking all this punishment here. Can barely make it to his knees.
I think Mickey Morris would be the freshest competitor in the DOJ corner.
Oh!
Is this the opening that Fridge needs? You see that replay here. Into the scoop slam, but just how much it took out of him.
Can barely make it over to his corner.
But all he needs to do at this point is make a tag to one of the fresher DOJ members. He's mere inches away. Can he make the tag? And wait a second.
Oh, what? Thwarted.
They pulled both members of DOJ off of the apron in tandem, leaving Fridge unable to make the tag, and Boris will now continue.
Taken down by the maximum glutage.
With this, thinking maybe he was looking for some variant of sliced bread there. Big boot by Jim Fridge. Into the corner, Bulldog.
Ooh. Wow.
But again, not enough in Big Jim Fridge left to make the cover. His only option is to make the tag to keep DOJ in this one.
You got to dig deep.
This is what you look for in a draft-worthy athlete. Do they dig deep? Do they come through in the clutch?
Can they go
when
that
the chips
extra
are
mile?
down
Yeah.
in the fourth quarter. There's the tag to the muscle, Mickey Morris. Theo misses with the clothesline. Morris dodges. Woo. Big strike in Mickey Morris again. It's been quite some time since he's been in this matchup.
He might be the freshest one in there.
No doubt. Mickey thinking dive here to the outside. Taking out both Theo as well as Jurgen. Again, in a trios match, sometimes that's the play, to isolate the other two members. Now Mickey into the cover on Theo, 2 count. Boris able to break that off, but Mickey fighting him off now. Mickey misses with the clothesline attempt, DDT by Boris.
Oh.
And now the suspenders coming down.
The titties are out.
And Fridge.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
He's gathered himself enough to get involved again. Big strike by Big Jim Fridge. Now whip into the ropes. Fridge springboard.
Oh. That was stunning.
But again, you're seeing the damage to the leg from earlier, and now Fridge taken out of this one. Here comes Big Dev. Bicycle kick.
It's size 16s.
To Theo. And now again, Jurgen. Double stomp. But Mickey Morris waiting in the wings here. Sling blade.
Sling blade.
But there's Theo strong.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And
what was that?
That's the type of offense that's put all kinds of eyes on him here at 880 Wrestling. Jocks able to break up that pin attempt. They might have saved the match there. Big boots in stereo from the Jocks.
Uh-oh.
And again, Jurgen looking for a German suplex. Fridge holding on to Dev Swayze, able to throw an elbow there.
Oh, wow.
Now Jurgen kind of using Boris as offense there, kind of using him as a weapon. Back suplex. And again, the Canadian team seemingly with the advantage here in the late stages.
They can't find someone to pin.
At this point, it's not about who's legal, it's about who's available.
Yeah.
Saying, let's put him away. It's 3-on-1 here for Mickey Morris.
Uh-oh.
Just stalking their prey, but Mickey Morris not backing down here.
Oh, no.
He's bringing the fight to all three. But probably not the smartest move there. Certainly one of the gutsiest. Up on the shoulders. Wait a second, reversal!
Oh, big reversal!
Throwing Theo into both of his partners.
Using him as a weapon.
Now it's the 3 Jocks in the ring with Theo all alone. Tandem strikes by the Jocks.
Ooh.
And taking him down, sent on by Mickey into the cover. 2. That's it.
That's it.
Here are your winners, the Department of Jocks.
Wow.
And we know that in just 2 days at Pittsburgh versus Canada, the 3 members of the Department of Jocks, as you take a look at what led to the finish here and then the senton by Mickey Morris, we know the Department of Jocks will team with the 880 Tag Team Champions Psychedelic Dreams in 10-man tag team action against a group from Hybrid Championship Wrestling. Again, an event like Pittsburgh versus Canada kind of leads you to some strange combinations in the way of being a unified Team Pittsburgh. So we will see Jockadelic Dreams in just 2 days at Pittsburgh versus Canada.
I don't. I'm gonna check outside because there must be a pig flying, because I just got really excited that the Department of Jocks won a match.
And Theo and the Canadians will regroup.
All right. Hey, all right.
I am unbiased on commentary. That's why I'm still here.
I'm biased. I'm not gonna lie.
You might not be coming back for a while.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, who here is ready for your main event of the evening? And to put the extra cherry on top, so to speak, who's ready for a double championship match?
Uh-oh.
Your main event of the evening is a singles match scheduled for one fall. And it is for the Fest Wrestling and Hybrid Heavyweight Championships.
And from a certain point of view, this may be the biggest test of the Fest Wrestling and Hybrid Championship Wrestling reigns of MV Young. The Suplex Shogun Jackson Stone, the 2020 Impact Wrestling Gut Check winner.
Wow.
He has been in the ring. He has crossed paths with the likes of Sammy Callahan. He's competed in tag team action against Heath and Rhino. It is a who's who list of people that Jackson Stone has brushed shoulders with, and he has done it in, with respect, bigger avenues than this warehouse.
Wow, just what a scary individual.
My new sleep paralysis demon is the Suplex Shogun, and he is looking to leave the warehouse with 2 championships draped over his shoulder.
Yeah, move over, Hat Man. There's a new boogeyman in town. This guy. Whoa. Woo. I'm afraid of what is going to happen.
But in a place like Pittsburgh, in a place like the warehouse, there is only one king.
T-Bone.
Fest Wrestling Champion. He is the Hybrid Championship Wrestling Champion. And he will put both of those titles on the line here tonight against the Suplex Shogun. MV Young has turned away so many opponents. Recently back at Paint It Black 2, he successfully defended his championships against B-Boy. And again, just a who's who of people coming by the warehouse to get their shot.
Your referee for this contest, senior official, George Ross.
George Ross.
Introducing first, to my right, the challenger. Fighting out of Detroit, Michigan, this is the Suplex Shogun, Jackson Stone! And his opponent, to my left, fighting out of 829 Industry Street, a.k.a. the Warehouse, by way of the shop and 880 Dottie Block. He is Pittsburgh made, Pittsburgh paid, and internationally laid. He is the current reigning and defending Fest Wrestling and Hybrid Heavyweight Champion, the King of Pittsburgh, LaVey Young!
Big fight feel here at 829 Industry Street as both competitors get one more look at the prize before we get going here in our main event.
We better batten down the hatches on this one.
Bring that bell!
Talking about collateral damage.
MV Young has mixed it up with so many up-and-comers, so many greats, so many independent wrestling legends. And this is just another addition to that long list.
The sheer magnitude that just came off of that tie-up all the way back here. Astounding.
The list of people that can get one over on MV Young in the strength department is typically very short. But just like that, Jackson Stone appears like he might be on that short list.
Oh, yeah. Tussing out each corner here. Ooh, big shove. Got to do a lot of push-ups to shove someone like Jackson Stone.
And we've got a bit of a stare down here. These two competitors just kind of feeling each other out here in the early going. Matches are rarely won in the first couple minutes here. All about kind of scouting your opponent, getting a feel for what's there. Is now MV in the corner.
Nice little shovey shove back.
Stone adhering to that 5 count. And then again, mild show of disrespect by the challenger.
MV Young just taking the chain off. MV know what kind of matchup this is. Can't harm the hardware.
And they tie up once again. MV now into the side headlock. But Stone shoots him off the ropes in a collision.
Just like
really barely phasing either man.
Like two pickup trucks running into each other at a red light.
And MV seemingly welcoming the first shot here.
Ooh.
And staggers MV, but does not take him down.
Ooh.
Again, just inviting Stone. Does MV get a shot back here? Looks like he does. And again, just barely moving the challenger.
The audience kind of waiting with a little bit of bated breath here, reminiscent of, dare I say, Batman versus Bane in The Dark Knight Rises in the sewer. But right here in the warehouse, Jackson Stone versus MV Young.
And again, neither man has been able to take the other off his feet. Throwing their full body weight into each other, now transitioning into strikes here. Yeah, MV Young, such a prolific striker, but no doubt that Jackson Stone is as well. And just like that, MV Young taking Stone down for the first time in this matchup. And Stone might be rethinking a couple things here.
Gonna have to reconsider. Forget coffee. One of MV Young's chops will wake you up in the morning.
And you can hear all of those strikes all the way up on the North Shore. Now trading these open-handed chops to the chest. Again, just taking a very long time for either one to get the better of that exchange. MV now, Irish whip into the corner. Young charges in.
Ooh, up and over.
Up and over there. And a forearm shot staggers MV, and he is down out here onto this concrete and brick floor. They're taking things outside.
Might get a couple craters in this floor.
We know that MV Young in particular, someone who seemingly thrives out here, fighting out into the crowd here in the warehouse. They're over by the apron, TRK.
Ooh.
Just circling the ring.
Uh-oh.
Thinking backdrop here. And be able to block and fight out of it. I have to believe he was thinking about a backdrop on that apron.
A bit of a brawl. Got a bit of a brawl on our hands.
Brawling over by that pillar.
Ooh, I think I got hit. I'm getting hit with sweat over here. Like 20 feet away.
Just clubbing away at each other. Against no one really getting a clear advantage here. Now,
Ooh, what a kick.
now Stone was staggered, but now he's seemingly getting the better of this exchange.
I gotta check on MV Young's vertebrae after that one.
Suplex Shogun not making any friends here with this warehouse crowd. But again, this is not always a story about making friends. This is about making money, winning championships. The Suplex Shogun has a chance to win 2. Into the cover. MV Young preserving both title reigns by getting the shoulder up. Ooh. Those blows to the chest. Just alternating arms. Taking down the king of Pittsburgh.
It's like 2 big dumbbells hitting you right across the chest.
It's been quite some time since I think we've seen someone get the better of MV Young to this extent. But again, Jackson Stone, so well traveled, has been in the ring with some of the best in the world. Ooh, big splash into the corner.
Just each time each one of them is sent into the corner, the ring is just shifting.
Such an impact here. Suplex Shogun living up to his name.
Wow.
Rolls over into the cover. MV getting the shoulder up.
Sheesh. Each time you get hit with a suplex from him, I'm sure it's like going through a different kind of car accident.
Again, I've certainly seen MV Young lose a few matches here at the warehouse. Big splash into another cover. Another 2 count there for Jackson Stone. But I've seen MV kind of, sometimes succumb to a flashy roll-up pin or something to that effect. I've not necessarily seen MV on the ropes here, literally and figuratively, quite as much as I have in this main event tonight.
Absolutely. One thing you can count on when you come to the warehouse is that you're going to get taken to the brink. You're going to get pushed.
Taking a back suplex here. It's Jackson Stone again. He earned that nickname, Suplex Shogun, just because his arsenal is just littered with different types of suplexes.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Now working a bit of a submission here is the challenger. MV Young will not quit, but now, again, insult to injury with those strikes. And again, keeping MV in position where he can stay on him with those strikes, but then if he wished to, he could have immediately reapplied a submission hold.
Shogun doing a bit of showboating here. Don't turn your back on the king of Pittsburgh.
Has not been very popular here in his 880 and warehouse debut. And MV missile drop kick, getting back in this thing.
Wow.
But again, MV has taken so much punishment here from Jackson Stone that this is almost more of an opportunity for him to just kind of catch his breath, as opposed to necessarily, bringing momentum fully back in his favor.
Oh yeah. MV Young pulling off a big drop kick there. Can't help but think he's going deep into his bag.
And you see him needing to use the ropes to get back to his feet, but now staying on in a suplex of his own. They're looking to make it, almost made it back to back here, though. Again, just the punishment that MV absorbed. Doesn't look like he was quite able to get Jackson Stone all the way over, and that one didn't turn out well, I think, for either competitor.
Wow.
MV Young back on him with the German suplex.
Got him that time. Just the ability this late in the match to be able to pick someone up of that size, it's impressive.
Absolutely, neither one conceding at the moment. Now MV Young.
Bit of a Uranagi.
Uranagi followed by that senton. MV into the cover. And Jackson Stone able to get the shoulder up. So MV Young not victorious in this one yet. At this point, I have to wonder what it's going to take for either of these men to come out victorious.
Absolutely.
MV Young front face lock, maybe looking for another suplex. Attempt blocked here by Stone. Ooh. Stone now forearm shots. Again, just devastating strikes. Looking for a bounce.
Just getting sideswiped there.
Again, just kind of slow to get into that cover, but he's able to hook the near leg, and MV Young gets the shoulder up.
Trying to send MV to the next neighborhood. Boom.
And look at the impact on that pounce.
Uh-oh. There we go. Shogun got his titties out.
I can't believe you said that in relation to this man. Like, this man is terrifying.
I know. It got the best of me.
Sometimes discretion is the better part of valor, but in any event, Jackson Stone climbing up to the second rope, and MV takes time to recover. And now, with Stone up on his shoulders, MV Young thinking diabolical thoughts. Hold on.
Hold on.
Wait a second.
Wait a second.
It's Will.
These guys again.
And all of the Canadians. And wait a second. Now this is a 3-on-1 assault on both competitors.
Whoa.
Hybrid Championship Wrestling.
And he's taking over.
Robbing us of this main event. We have a suplex. Shogun takes down Boris. Now, I have been very outspoken about this being a partnership between 880 and Hybrid Championship Wrestling, but Hybrid coming out.
Kennywood is open, baby.
Pittsburgh plunge for MV Young, and now MV and Stone kind of working together here.
Maximum glutage taken to a maximum pain.
Jurgen Musabelliu.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee has ruled this match a no contest. Therefore, still Fest Wrestling and Hybrid Heavyweight Champion, MV Young.
What is this about, Will?
What was that?
What is this about?
Sportsmanship.
Well, despite the best efforts of the Hybrid Championship Wrestling folks to ruin this great main event matchup, a show of respect from MV Young to the Suplex Shogun Jackson Stone. MV Young will retain the Fast and Hybrid Championships by way of that no contest. But we were robbed of a decisive winner thanks to the involvement of the Canadian folks. Now we are less than 48 hours away from Pittsburgh versus Canada, and this is now war, and I think the Pittsburgh folks will be getting revenge for getting revolved. 880 Wrestling is clocking out. I hear quick, I think quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up